This is Glenn with Crimson Lotus Tea, bringing you some behind-the-scenes action from our tea sourcing adventures in China. Step number one for us on this trip, and it's an important one, is I need to get my Chinese driver's license. So that's where I'm going today. We're going to get my Chinese driver's license. I've already taken the physical exam and done all the paperwork and triplicate and had everything translated into English and had photos taken. So all the easy stuff is done. The last thing I've got to do is take the test. So the test is multiple choice and right or wrong, and there's a 900 question pool, and you are given a 100 question test. It is timed, and you have to get 90 right to pass. I did it 10 years ago. And I'm working on doing it again. It's a tricky test. It's complicated. There's a lot of trick questions, but I think I got it. I think I got it down. I've been studying all night for it. So I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of what we do to get all the tea that you guys love. Well, we have made it to the Yunnan Provincial Kunming Traffic Police Training Academy, and gotta admit, the parking lots here are pretty awesome. Most parking lots in China, it's impossible to actually park because the spots are too small, but I thought it was hilarious that the parking spots here are just massive. They're absolutely massive, primarily because nobody here knows how to drive, and this is why they're coming here to learn. So show you around, then I gotta go take a test. Well, I just got out of the tests. It's a tough test. There's a lot of trick questions. A lot of it is just very specific domain knowledge, like what does this very strange sign mean, and I don't know. It's failed. Didn't get it. I got 85. Got 85 out of 100 correct. So I get to stay here and study more, and I can take the test again in 2 hours. So this is an important thing. Once we get our Chinese driver's license, then we're set. So I am going to study and take it again in a couple hours. So I've been cramming for the test again, studying here for a little bit. They actually have a cafeteria at the driving testing location here in Kunming, which is pretty awesome. I guess a lot of people probably come here, fail the test, and then have to have a place to study. So we have lunch. We're having lunch at the Police Driving Academy. And after I get this energy in, I'm going to keep cramming and take the test again. Okay, I've been cramming for 2 hours. We're back at the actual testing room.
Good luck this time.
Thank you. All right, I just need to get 5 more points. Got 85 last time. I need 90 to pass. It's tricky. All right, we're gonna see what I can do. Well, I just got out from attempt number 2, and unfortunately I only got 89 points. I needed 90 out of 100. I got 89 points. So 2 hours of cramming got me 4 extra points, but it wasn't enough to pass the test. So I've got to come back tomorrow. I bet you guys didn't realize it was this hard to pass a Chinese driver's license test. Yikes. When you're feeling a little bit down and out, like maybe you just failed your Chinese driver's license twice in a row, find the nearest tea market, which is super easy to do in Kunming, and sit down, have some nice tea, and I guarantee you that you will forget all of your test-taking woes. So that's what we're doing right now. So we're browsing a local tea market, hanging out with some friends, drinking some tea. Then I'm going to go home and cram for testing tomorrow. It's day 2. Got up super early so I can get the earliest test possible. Got all the way down here. Got to get checked in again. Got to pay. You have to pay every day to take the test. It's not too much. It's like $10, but it's gonna work out good. It's gonna work out good. We're gonna get my test done. I'm gonna pass it today. So I'll let you know after I'm done. Wish me some luck. I am back from the Kunming, I want to make sure I get this right, the Kunming Public Security Bureau Office of Vehicle Management. That's the official name of the place where I've been going every day to repeatedly take the driving test. I passed, so I am so incredibly excited. And there's just a great amount of stress that has been removed from me now that I've been able to pass the test. Third time was the charm. I went in, got there at 9 a.m., huge line, had to pay to take the test again. It wasn't very much, it's only like $10. Paid to take the test again. I got in at the earliest test-taking window. And it was different than yesterday because I had to like sit in like a class. It was all Chinese and I didn't understand what they were saying. And you had to slowly get allowed into the room. They had to make sure your cell phones are off. It's very, 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 very official. But I got a 94 out of 100, which I was incredibly excited about. So right now I am celebrating by drinking a really amazing aged white tea. This is some really cool stuff. So this is 10 years old, and it is tasty. Let me show you the cake. Look at that. Look how beautiful this is. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous cake of tea. So this is how I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating by drinking some tea, and I want to continue to talk about the Chinese driving test. So I got 94 out of 100. I was so excited. I don't even know what I did, but I was so excited. I exclaimed something out loud, and the guy next to me who was still taking the test visibly jumped. So excited. I passed the test. I get up, I start walking out, and one of the proctors chases me down because I had forgotten to take off my test-taking vest. You have to wear a special high-vis neon yellow-green vest when you're taking the test. I assume it's to stop people from cheating, and so I had forgotten to take it off, and she had to chase me down so she could get the test vest back. So you have to. It's the cheating stuff is serious, and they really take it seriously. So you have like proctors who are walking around the test taking room constantly, checking people and watching them. You have to wear like a high-vis neon yellow-green vest, presumably so that nobody can like sneak in when the proctors don't see them, and swap places with somebody and not have a vest, something like that. I don't know. But the other thing is like, and I'll post it right here in a sec. You are constantly being video monitored the entire time, and they randomly take your photo at different spots during the test. You don't know when it's going to be. You don't know when they're going to be taking your photo, but they will take your photo at different times. And if your face doesn't match the face of the photo you took when you were entering, the testing facility, then you're in trouble. So you'll see there's like three pictures of me during the test taking, and I love it because like my emotion, my face doesn't change the entire time, like stone cold. I'm just like locked, pure focus. Yeah, it was funny. Anyways, yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit about. People have asked me, like, why was it difficult? Well, first of all, I got to take the test in English, which was great. If I had to take the test in Chinese, I would never have passed it. When we took the test 10 years ago in English, there was a 400 question pool, but now in the Chinese language test it was a 900 question pool. Well, now they've translated the rest of those 500 questions, and so now there is also in English a 900 question pool, and that's a lot. It's a lot of questions. Only 100 questions are on the test. You have to get 90 correct before you're allowed to have a driver's license. The driver's license, which I do have, like they immediately it's ready to go. Like as soon as you pass the test, you take your form down to the other office and they fill it out and very quickly print you off your Chinese driver's license, which I have right here, hiding all my super secret information. But I've got that now, and it's good for 6 years, and I'm very excited to have that. So yeah, so you have to get 90 points, and the thing that makes it difficult is like roughly like 70% of the test is, or maybe like 60% of the test is just really simple, common sense. Anybody can get those, and then you got a decent amount of them, maybe like 20% of the test, which is very specific questions about. Penalties, and those ones get really tricky, like, you know, how many years will you be in jail for street racing, that kind of thing, or how many years could you be put into jail for street racing, and you just have to specifically memorize like all of these very specific ones, and that makes it a little a little tricky, but then maybe like 20% of the test is all just trick questions. I think it's specifically designed to fail people. Maybe they don't want as many people on the road. I don't understand entirely the methodology behind the testing. I disagree with it, but it is what it is. So, and I'm happy that I was able to pass. And I don't mean to say anything negative. I'm blessed to be here, and I'm a guest in the country, and it's their rules, their tests, and that's just I'm just here to document it and kind of just talk about some of the fun and adventurous things that we're getting up to while we are here. So I wanted to highlight 4 of my most interesting, or a couple of my most interesting trick questions that I basically just had to memorize. I'm going to put it up on the screen, see if it actually can actually work. Okay, so this first one. What is this road marking? Is it A, prohibitive area, B, a guideline, C, a cross-hatched marking, or D, a central circle? The answer is D, a central circle. This square is a circle. So I got that wrong the first few times I took the practice test online. So yeah, trick question number 1, square is a circle. Maybe it was poorly translated. I don't know. There's that's also part of it. You kind of have to understand the lingo. There are ways that they describe driving. Like for example, starting up doesn't mean actually like starting up your vehicle. Starting up means accelerating to go, and so you really have to understand that. You know, like what do you do at a red light? Do you start your vehicle? It's just like, well, they mean yes, you start your vehicle when it's green, but you would assume that your vehicle was already started, but that's just, you just have to kind of figure that out eventually. So okay, so here's the next question, right? So this sign warns vehicle drivers there is a crosswalk ahead. Right or wrong? True or false? What do you think it is? If you say that it is true and correct that there is a crosswalk ahead, you would be wrong. This is not the sign warning vehicle drivers that there is a crosswalk ahead. This is the sign warning vehicle drivers that there are pedestrians ahead. Now, the pedestrians may be on a crosswalk, but this sign specifically doesn't warn that there is a crosswalk, right? It's very small differentiation. I got this one wrong a lot too. And so check out this next one because it's totally in comparison to this. This sign is basically the same sign, but it's blue, not yellow. And so what do you think this sign means? Is it to watch for pedestrians, children's passageway, a crosswalk, or a student passageway? If you can kind of figure out and kind of guess where this is going, you will realize that this is the symbol for a crosswalk. It's exactly the same one as the previous one. This is not the warning that there are pedestrians there. This is the warning that there is a crosswalk there. It's the exact same symbol, but it's blue, not yellow. You just have to plain straight up memorize that. Saved the best one for last, right? I had to double and triple check this one in multiple spots, right? So take a look at this sign. This sign means which vehicles are prohibited from passing. Small trucks, mid-sized bus, minibus, or every kind of vehicle. Now, I would assume it's every kind of vehicle. That was the assumption that I made on the test. Also, in the practice test that I took, I assumed that this means every kind of vehicle because it doesn't look like a small truck, a mid-sized bus, or a minibus. So you just assume, well, it must be for every kind of vehicle. It's not. This this is to prohibit minibuses from passing. So you just have to memorize that. You just have to know that. And so with a 900 question pool, and you got a couple hundred questions of what seems to me to be trick questions, you just have to sit down and memorize every single one of the answers for the trick questions, and hope that when the test comes up that you remember which are the trick questions and which aren't. And so that just added a lot of extra difficulty to it for myself. Maybe there's other people that would be much easier at taking the test. And then you've got the absolute irony that driving here, you quickly recognize that no one follows any of the rules. Supposedly, they all have taken the test and passed to have their driver's license, be able to legally drive on the road. But once you see how people drive here, and you know the rules, and you know that no one follows any of the rules, it's just a bit shocking. Now, I will say, so in the 10 years of experience that we have coming to Yunnan, so the first 5-6 years we were here every single year. I think 5 years. First 5 years we were here like 3 to 6 months out of the year. Spent a tremendous amount of time of that driving. The last 5 years we've not been able to come here. Obviously, 2019 was the last time that we were able to make it here, and so we haven't driven here for 5 years. And Lamo and I both noticed things have gotten a lot better. People still break all the rules, but they break all the rules really nicely. They don't get upset at you. They're not as angry. They're not yelling at you out of the window. They're not constantly honking and trying to like shove their vehicle in. Now, it does still happen sometimes, but we definitely noticed a significantly positive improvement in the flow of driving. That's really what you have to pay attention to. Excuse me. So when you're actually out driving here in China, and it will be very difficult because cars are coming from every single possible direction. People will just be walking straight across the road right in front of you. You've got electric mopeds, you've got like scooters, you've got motorcycles zipping in around, and not just a little bit, like inundated, absolutely like inundated, like the flow of a river. And you have to find a way you can't use your natural instinct and fight that, or you'll just cause chaos. So you can't just stop and not go because there's all these people around. You have to find your place in the flow, right? You have to be a leaf on the wind or a boat on a river. You have to go with the flow, and you got to find your way in and around that. And that can be it can be incredibly stressful. But once you like understand that flow, and the city of Kunming definitely has an emotional quality to the traffic. And once you understand your spot in that and you don't fight it, you just go with it, it's totally fine. And some stuff actually makes sense. People here are actually really good drivers. They know how to not hit other people, and it's amazing that they can drive at the speeds that they do and not get into as many accidents as you would think that they would. So that's what we've that's what we've learned. I think things are getting better traffic wise, and so now that I've got my Chinese driver's license, which is amazing. So excited for that. Now we can go. We can get out. We can get out on the road, and that's what we're gonna be doing. We're going to Zhenshui next. In fact, as soon as I end this video, we're gonna go and pack up the car and get ready to get out on the road and look for some awesome pu-erh. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I did pass the test. I'm super excited. If you are going to China and you do want to get your driver's test, you have to remember international driver's licenses don't work in China. China does not recognize the international driver's license. There is a path to getting a temporary driver's license, but you have to be at the police department in the Beijing airport with an international driver's license, your local driver's license, a bunch of forms filled out and converted into Chinese, and supposedly you can get a temporary 30-day permit to drive in China. But we tried that, and like the office wasn't open, and I don't know, it was a huge mess. So we just went the actual way, and the actual way is this way. You basically convert your national driver's license from your home country into an actual Chinese driver's license if you can pass the written test, and it's pretty awesome. So I will link below the resource that I used for taking the test, practicing the test and studying the questions. It's an incredible resource. It's a private resource by a guy in China who puts that together and keeps track of the changing test questions and stuff, and so that's incredibly helpful. So if that's what you're looking for, it's certainly possible. It's certainly doable. It just takes some time, and it absolutely helps to have somebody with you who speaks Chinese. So my wife's been able to help out incredibly in that regard. So awesome. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. We've got a bunch of fun videos planned coming up, so I will see you on them. Have a good one.